Hello, how are we doing? Good to see everybody. Happy Tuesday. My name is Rob, and welcome to the live. What's up? What's new? Let me just jump right into the chat. It's a beautiful day here in sunny Nova Scotia. It's, 21 degrees. So what is that? That's like 72, 74 Fahrenheit. So it's a beautiful day. Hope you're all having a great day wherever you are. Let's see. Let me just jump right into the chat. Let's jump into the chat. Let me know what's on your mind. If anybody has any questions, you can enter them here with a QQQ in front, and I'll answer as many as I can. I'm probably only going to be live today for about an hour, maybe 90 minutes at the very most. If you have questions, get them in early, and we'll get to them. Let's see what we got here. We've got O.C. Dobbins in the house. How you doing? Let me just recenter this here. Can you guys all hear me? Can you hear me? If someone can confirm you can hear me, that would be awesome. 90 degrees in Broward right now. Wow. Yes, awesome. Frank, thank you. Thank you. Alrighty, so we've got O.C. Dobbins in the house. We've got Sarah from Afghanistan in the house. We've got Scott from Winning the Week from Florida. The Dirt Princess is in. Mike's Adventure Sparks, hello. O.C. Dobbins, B.A. Vid, started recording my first video this weekend. Thank you for your content as it has helped a ton. Congrats on getting started. That is fantastic. That's the key, right? Get started. Who saw my video from a couple days ago? Or was it it was yesterday? I think I filmed it I filmed it on Saturday, actually. About when the best time to start a YouTube channel is, it's right now, right? You don't want to be waiting years and then say, oh, I wish I started years ago. Like at that point, I can almost guarantee you'll say, what was I afraid of? What was I waiting for? What did I think I needed to learn before I started, right? If you're here, you probably know enough to start right now anyways. Meaning, if you know how to get onto YouTube and watch somebody do a live stream, you probably know more than most about doing YouTube. So get started. Suck that gut in. That's right. Yeah, so Scott watched it. I know what you mean by that. Okay, no, I already got that one. Hello, Dirt Princess. Good to see you. All right, let's see now. Rob is late because he's currently chasing Peanut around the bay. She got in his dinghy and took off, so now he has to catch her as she scoots around the inlet. Yeah, that could I could perhaps make a channel around that. The Adventures of Peanut in the Bay, maybe, something like that. just write stories. Happy Tuesday, CL. Good to see you. Lily is here. Hello, Lily. Lisa is here. Good to see you as well. DG is out here. Hey, Daniel. Good to see you. All right. Let me just keep scrolling. Looking for... good morning, Olin. Good to see you. Olin AOJC. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, but... Resident Rev Secutioner. How you doing? Good to see you. Waiting while editing. Very good. I've gone down a bit of an AI rabbit hole into Claude Code and having a lot of fun with it. So that's kind of what I'm in the middle of doing, that building some tools and having a lot of fun. Just kind of had my eyes opened over the last week. Watched a video by a friend of mine, Brooke, about Claude Code. Then I went to Ali Abdal's channel, watched a video from him. I watched a couple of other videos and just getting pretty deep down into it as to the things you can do with these tools. It's pretty amazing. Not really ready to go over any details yet as to what or how. I'm kind of learning the how right now. So I will report back as soon as I know more. Terry Miller is here. Hello, Terry. Jen is here. How you doing? Barefoot Lawn is here. Aloha. Eric from Kauai, Hawaii. Bet you the weather is beautiful there. Come back, Peanut. Yeah, where'd she go? Yeah, she's chilling on the floor. Now I've locked her into the office. What is the topic? Topic is whatever you want it to be. Let me know what you want to talk about or what you'd like me to talk about, and I'll talk about it. I don't really have anything prepared for today other than just showing up and taking questions. Peanut was offended post the haircut. She is getting him back. Yeah. Let me spin this around here. She did move. There you go. The Peanut cam. I've got that zoomed in. I don't need it to be that far zoomed in. There we go. All right. Yep, she's still hanging out behind me here. Hello from Los Angeles. Hey, Manny. How are you? Maybe he was out filming a walk and talk. No, I was not. But I've done that before. I've gone outside and then had to run back to be here on time. That has certainly happened before. All right. Hello, Rosanny. Good to see you as well. All righty. Searching for the right hat, maybe. No, I'm going hatless today. Except if I go outside, of course. Got to protect the noggin from the sun. Matt and Mouse, how are you? Good to see you. My musical success journey. Hello from Chicagoland. Hello. All right. The full 5-minute intro. Yeah, it must be busy. Yeah, I should reduce that again. I've played around with that. The actual song that I use is like 3.5 minutes long, but Epidemic Sound is kind of cool. You can go in there and say, yeah, I want to use this song, but can you make it, and then you can set the time. So I said, can you make it 5 minutes? So it automatically used its own internal AI, I guess, to kind of rejig the song a little bit and make it exactly 5 minutes long. So if you want a shorter version or a longer version, you can do that sort of thing with Epidemic Sound. It's really cool. But yeah, we don't need the full 5 minutes. I was here. Hello from Finland. Hello. Yeah, I always love hearing where everybody's watching from. Simple Life Skills is here. Hello. And Manny is here. All right, let me just kind of scroll a little faster to see if Yep, exactly what Scott said. Don't forget to put the 3 Qs in your question so that I can see it. That's what I'm looking for right now. About to eat pizza with cauliflower crust. I'm not so sure. It sounds awful healthy. I'm just not sure I would enjoy it as much. A little blue hat on Peanut. Yeah, maybe I should. Oh, I don't think she would go for that. Hey, Cheryl, how are you? Good to see you. Here's a good question from Terry. Not necessarily directed at me, but all of you. I'd like to know too. Actually, let me set up a poll question right now. Start a poll. Mac or PC? How come that didn't type? Mac or PC? Mac is option 1. PC is option 2. Let's add a third option. Other. Let's add a fourth option. Both. There you go. I just started the poll. It should pop up there for you guys. So yeah, why don't you weigh in and let me know. Do you use a Mac? Do you use a PC? Or both? Or what was the other option? What was the other option? 43% already. Other, right, other. Other being probably Linux, I guess, would be the third obvious choice, but it's kind of fun. We can see this kind of, can I pop this out? No, I can't. Alrighty, yeah, let's see. So far it looks like PC is winning, marginally. Alrighty. Don't forget to tickle that like button. Thank you, Secutioner resident. Terry is thinking of getting a new laptop, but pondering what is best for YouTube video making and business in general. So yeah, I made a video about that, I think last week or the week before. What do you need as a computer? So you may want to check that out. I use a Mac, but I have used a PC before I switched to Mac. You can use either. It really doesn't matter anymore. Generally speaking, Macs are considered more, I guess, design friendly. They've always been a little more on the artsy side, whereas the PC stuff, or sorry, I keep using the term PC when I mean Windows. That tends to be the more business-minded stuff. But today, honestly, they're both pretty, and they're both GUI or graphical user interface based, right? You use a mouse instead of having to type commands. Whereas if you go back to the 80s and 90s, Windows, before it was Windows, it was DOS, and you needed to type commands. Whereas Mac, going right back to the 80s, didn't they not invent the mouse, I think? Right? And fonts. Like, I think Steve Jobs had a lot to do with bringing fonts into the computer world, right? Before that, it was all the blocky letters, typically, green on a black screen, that kind of thing, computer terminal-like. Right? But Steve Jobs brought in fonts, and I think he had a background in calligraphy and things like that. So from the very beginning, Apple was always had kind of a designer feel to it, and programs like the Adobe suite of programs like Photoshop and anything you wanted to design to make it look good, people tended to go Mac. But again, most programs are cross-platform now. You can get them for either Windows or PC. I see 49% here now are PC, 32% Mac, 14% other. I'm surprised that's as high as it is. 5% both. I guess I would say Mac for me, although I have used both. I mean, I was a PC guy or a Windows guy right up until about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. But as soon as I realized, wait a second, I no longer use programs that need Windows. I could actually use a Mac. At the time, I was editing with Camtasia. That's available for both. The last program that I was using that needed my PC was QuickBooks. I had QuickBooks Desktop for PC to run my business and stuff. But I've since switched to QuickBooks Online. That obviously can be run from either because it's browser-based. And a lot of the tools you use today as a YouTuber or a creator are browser-based, right? You log in to a tool through your browser, whether that's Chrome or Safari or, I don't know, what, Firefox? I don't know. Is Firefox still used? I've been using Chrome forever. Even though I use a Mac, I use Chrome as my browser, except when I'm using my iPhone. I just use Safari because it's there, and that's what I'm used to. No other good reason than that. Most tools, Canva, browser-based. What's going on here? Oh, I don't need notifications. Yeah, Canva is browser-based. Even some video editing apps are browser-based, although the one I use, Camtasia, it's not. It's software I have to download, and I can install it on either a Windows PC or a Mac. DaVinci Resolve, install it on either. Premiere Pro, you can install that on either. Final Cut Pro now, that's another popular one. That's only available on Mac. They don't have a Windows version. What else? Ecamm Live, the software that I use to run these lives and also to record my screens and stuff when I'm making videos. That's only available for Mac. And there are other programs only available for PC. So yeah, understand what programs you need to use before going to make the decision of which one to use, okay? Because that might sway you one way or the other. 51% PC, wow. Very good. What is best for you to, okay, yeah, so just coming back to that question again. It really doesn't matter. But the kinds of things you're gonna wanna think about are the videos you wanna make. Like, what do you wanna do with your computer? What do you want to do with it? Probably the most taxing thing that a YouTuber can do with a computer, the thing that they do that requires the most computing power is video editing. By far, it's video editing. Everything else you do doesn't require that much power, like building thumbnails on Canva or Photoshop or whatever. Well, maybe Photoshop. That's a more intense program than Canva. Well, Canva's browser-based. So browser tabs is a big one. The more tabs you have opened up, the more RAM your computer's going to be needing, and I'm bad for that. I usually have 20 plus tabs open in my Google Chrome, like I do right now. So yeah, that requires a lot of RAM. I have 32 gigs of RAM. I wouldn't go less than that now. You know, if I'm recommending somebody get a computer, I would suggest if you can get at least 32 gigs. If not, 16 is probably the absolute minimum you'd want to go with. Anything less than that, you're going to start to run into some issues, especially with the video editing, right? Where you're editing large files, large video files, especially if you're getting into 4K video editing, right? The render times will be longer for less powerful computers. You know, basically the more you spend on a computer and get a better processor, CPU, the faster it's going to be at doing things like rendering. But then it's the RAM that you need to be able to hold on to all of like the large files that you work with. Anyways, yeah, go watch the video. That might help. Yeah, and what was it? It was about what video or what computer you need. I just forget what I titled it. Oh, before you buy a computer for YouTube, watch this. There you go. It's my third last video. There you go. Oh, Dirt Princess says, I have 16 gigs and a very fast processor, but I cannot run DaVinci on it. Really? I'm surprised. I would have thought you could. I wonder why you can't run DaVinci on it. Does it say it doesn't have enough memory, gigabytes? Like, that would be surprising, because I didn't think it needed more than that. Like, technically, it could probably run on 8, but I don't know for sure. But I'm wondering what else could be the issue. Maybe it's the videos you're trying to edit with it. You know, maybe they're very large, or, you know, again, 4K or very large, right? Nope, I need 32 plus my graphics card is too slow. Interesting. Okay. All right. Interesting. Well, there you go. So yeah, there would be, on the DaVinci page, it would actually tell you what the minimum requirements are to make that program run. But again, I kind of default back to video editing apps. You know, video editing, the act of video editing and rendering, like that needs power to be able to do that. But I have heard people edit, like probably with smaller programs like iMovie, with like even a MacBook Air, right? It can do that. Or obviously browser-based editors. You know, you don't need much computer power because the rendering and stuff is going to be happening in the cloud, right? If you're logging in through a browser. So yeah, so just some things to think about for sure. But yeah, no, I'm surprised you need 32. I'm not ready to upgrade. I have 32 gigs of RAM and I'm getting by just fine. I can stream while having, 20 tabs open. Plus, I can demonstrate how to edit a video. Now, if that video is 4K and large, the computer starts to chug a little bit and the fan might even come on the Mac. That's the amazing thing about these Macs. The M chip Macs is like, this is silent. Like, there is no fan on in my computer right now, and I'm doing all these things. I'm not editing a video right now, but even when I do, the fan rarely comes on. I only hear that fan maybe once a month, and that's when I'm probably rendering a, 40 to 60 minute 4K video, and it's not a simple edit. Maybe I've done a bunch of things in there, or maybe stacked a couple of different camera angles, right? Things like that. That could slow things down and cause the computer to have to go into overdrive. Basically, the fan will come on when the computer thinks it's getting too warm, like it measures the heat. The more things a processor is doing, it'll heat up, and it runs better when it's cooler. You don't want it to overheat. The computers today are smart enough to know when to turn their fans on to keep their CPUs cool. But again, mine never really comes on. Alrighty, let's see. Terry, will you be doing live streams? Ecamm only works on Mac, and it's really a wonderful live streaming program. It's what Rob uses too. Consider it. Yep, there you go. Yep, there you go. What? What are you doing? What do you want? Do you want to get out? Tell me. I don't know. All right, sorry. Little interlude there. Let's see. I'm waiting for the Mac Mini M5 to drop for my setup upgrade. Wow, okay, that would be nice. Yeah, for sure. That's the other thing I talk about in that video. So the Mac Mini, that would not be a portable computer. That would be, I mean, you could take it with you in places, but it doesn't have a screen, right? It's just the computer part. I myself wouldn't get that because I like to take my computer with me. I like to go on vacation with it. I like to, take it places and be able to have all of my stuff with me. So for me, it's important that it's a laptop and not a desktop or the Mac Mini. Alrighty. I knew a creator who made their first 30 videos on their phone before committing to a laptop. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like there are creators, they're probably generally speaking the younger generations who are used to being on their phones all the time, but they use their phones to record and edit and upload and look at their analytics. Like they don't need a computer. I couldn't work that way. I need a bigger screen is the main thing. And I like a keyboard. Typing with my thumbs gets tiring for me after a while. But some people do it. So it's whatever you're used to. Okay. If you don't care about Ecamm, then I don't think it matters Mac or PC. Yeah, and Ecamm is not the only there's other software you could use to live stream. OBS or Meld, they're both free. They don't have this ability to put comments on screen like Ecamm does. If you want to be able to do that, then maybe look at StreamYard. That's a popular browser-based app that allows that. It's a live streaming app that you don't need to download onto your computer. You log in and do it from a browser. It's a little more expensive, I'm understanding now, than it used to be, but it's an option and doesn't matter what kind of computer you use. I love my MacBook Pro. I bought it earlier this year. It's way better than my 12-year-old Gateway laptop. Yeah, and again, my MacBook Pro is it's a 5-year-old computer. It's from like 2021, I think. But I bought it in 2023 as a refurbished model, and I still do not need to upgrade. Again, more RAM would be nice. I do get a message saying, yeah, you're running low on memory, but all I usually have to do then is just shut it down and boot it back up. And that's because Camtasia is not great on memory either, and Google Chrome, right, with all my tabs. So I usually just reset the computer every once in a while. And, by every once in a while, I mean maybe every couple of days. And I get past that. So yeah, in a perfect world, I would have more RAM. But other than that, there's no other, I don't need a faster processor. And this is only the M1, I say only, it's the M1 Pro, what's it called? MacBook Pro M1 Max chip. So it was the fastest chip in 2021. And I've even had chats with my AI, said, hey, would I notice a difference if I upgraded to the latest MacBook Pro? And it basically said, probably not. Maybe my render times would go from, if a video takes 10 minutes to render, like a longer video, maybe it could do it in 8 minutes instead of 10. But other than that, I wouldn't notice any difference anywhere else, live streaming, editing, anything else, right? So yeah, I don't know when I think I can get at least another couple of years out of this computer before having to upgrade. And when I do upgrade, I'm going to go the refurbished route again, I'm pretty sure. That you can get a very powerful computer that's a couple years old. Yeah, I could never do that either. No. I was wondering if a Chromebook would work for editing videos. I would say probably only if you're going to use one of the browser-based editing apps, and I can't even think of any right now. I think CapCut has a browser version, but no, if you want to download an editing app to your computer, Chromebook is not built for that. and neither is the new MacBook Neos, right? The cheaper MacBooks, they're kind of similar to Chromebooks. So yeah, no, they're not built. Those are mostly built for browsing the internet, maybe watching YouTube videos, but not a lot of heavy computing power. The processors are not very powerful in them, and I don't think they have much RAM either. Alrighty, chat is going fast. Yeah, I'm behind. Let me start. Audio good, Rob. Thank you. Peanut looks guilty. What'd you do, Peanut? Where are you now? You've done 60 videos so far. Everything's been done on your iPhone, ready to upgrade. Yeah, I'd be ready. I think you're gonna like it. I think just having a bigger screen, and that's the other thing too. So again, I lean towards laptops, but again, my laptop screen by itself, it's fine for when I'm traveling, but here in my office, I need a bigger screen than even that. So you could get a smaller laptop, like for example, a Mac. Well, when I bought this, the choices were 14-inch or 16-inch screen. I got the 16, just knowing that my eyes are kind of degrading with time. I need readers all the time, so I figure a bigger screen. But it doesn't matter a whole lot in my office because I just plug in my external monitors, and I'm usually looking at my external monitors, maybe with a ChatGPT or something on my Mac monitor. Right now I have my eCam on my Mac monitor, and I've got my other monitors that I mostly use for whatever I'm doing. So my point is, you could get a smaller screen and then just get a bigger monitor, as long as you're okay with that smaller screen when you're traveling, right? If you get a MacBook or a laptop. The one thing that I noticed that I was a little bit disappointed in my 16-inch MacBook Pro is on an airplane. When I was flying to Costa Rica, I bring out my laptop. Oh, I can do some work on the plane, and I'm tall. I'm over 6 feet tall, and I did not my knees are pretty much up against the chair in front of me. And when I put my laptop, it's too big. Like, I can't open the screen up enough to be able to see it. I've almost got to angle it. So it's a little bit cumbersome in tight spaces. In that case, and that's the only case I've come up with, no, there's another one. The 14-inch would have made more sense. As long as I've got my readers on, I can read it. And the other case is sometimes, it's happened where we've lost power in the house here, and I wanted to upload a video to YouTube, but crap, the power's out or the internet's out. I'll grab my laptop, I'll jump in the car, I'll drive. It's about a 10-minute drive from here. In the grocery store parking lot, I know has 5G plus connectivity through the cell towers. So I take my laptop there with my iPhone, and I use the hotspot on my iPhone, connect my laptop to it, and I upload it to the internet there. And that's faster than even uploading it in my house. So, but that's another case where when I'm sitting in the car, with the steering wheel, I've got to have it, jammed up into me, and I'm kind of typing like this, right? Or I could put it beside me, but it's not a very big car. So anyway, just some things to think about. I would still get the 16 though, but I could handle the inconvenience those few times. All right. You're jealous is 90 in Florida. Well, yeah, 90 might be a bit much, although I really enjoyed it in Costa Rica. It was in the 90s, the times that when I was there. But of course, you can exist in just a bathing suit and on the beach down there. Hey, Karen, how you doing? Good to see you. Rainy and cold in Mexico right now, but really cozy. Very good. Very good. Thanks to Scott for bringing me to your channel. Awesome. Thank you, Scott. What's your logo there? It looks like Wendy's, but it says Wednesday. Cool. All right. Let me see. 75 in Northwest Florida. Wow, big difference from South Florida to North Florida. 75, that's pretty much what it is here right now, way up in Nova Scotia. Alrighty. Good morning, afternoon, and evening from South Africa. How you doing, Gabriel? Good to see you. What is your process? So JC Brailsford, what is your process for recording and storing videos? I just want to keep things organized and secure. Yeah, that's a really good question. And it's something that you could do yourself a lot of favors if you put some thought into it ahead of time. I have made a video on this, but so you can go, if you search storage on my channel, you'll find it. Or backups, you'll find it with that keyword as well. But real quick, I don't keep a lot on my laptop, only the current projects, maybe the last, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 weeks worth of projects, that's it. And depending on how much free storage space you have on your computer, that'll dictate how many projects you can keep before you got to get them off. I don't care how big your computer is, you're not going to be able to keep everything on your computer if you're going to be a YouTuber going forward. So, because YouTube project files can get fairly large, depending on all the assets you bring in and things like that. So my process is, step one would be to create a folder in your documents. So in your My Documents folder on a Windows computer, or in your Documents folder on a Mac, create a projects folder, My Projects or My Videos or whatever you want to call it. Then inside that, you're going to create a folder each time, a new folder each time you start a new project, a new video project, okay? So for every video I create a new project in my projects folder. And I tend to, let's see now. Let me bring this down. I'll just show you real quick. I'll share my screen. I don't need that there. So real quick, here's my Finder window. So it's on a Mac. So if you're on a PC, which I see 49% of you are, then Finder window on a Mac is the same as the File Manager window on a PC, okay? So I've got My Projects Current. That's my main folder that I created, and I just put a shortcut to it here. And then within that, I've got a folder for each, well, that's not one, but for each video that I create, okay? And then within those videos, so here's the video that I released yesterday. I'll double click to go in there. Within that, I'll have other folders. So one would be recordings. That's where all my recordings go. Like when I was outside recording the video with my iPhone, I would drop them in here. If I double click in there, you can see all the different folders. So there was a whole bunch of, or not folders, video files. That's what all these are. They're all video files. These are the audio files from my mic. Okay, I keep them all here. That's just something that gets created by Reaper, is the new audio program I'm using. But anyways, all your recordings go in there. Your thumbnail files go in here. So I take a screenshot, right? And then I go into Canva, and these are the thumbnails I created, right? Then SFX, that's sound effects. I think I added a sound effect to this video. So otherwise, I don't always have that folder. And then my project folder, which is my Camtasia project folder, the main folder. And then the rendered video that I upload to YouTube. All of that's contained in its own folder, okay? Now, every once in a while, so as you see, it only goes back to, this is my oldest one. Oh, that was a CGP video that I brought back in. So yeah, I could probably get rid of that. But May 31st. So I've only got my last 3 YouTube videos here. What I do is I move them off of my Mac and onto my external storage. And for me, I use a NAS. I've got a Synology NAS that I use for that. And yeah, you just got to do that every once in a while. Now, I didn't have to do that right away. I still have lots of free space, which you can see here, 1.37 terabytes. It's a 2 terabyte drive. So I've got room. It's a good habit to get into, to manage your storage and to move things off relatively, well, periodically, I guess. It's good to get in the habit of that. And then the other good thing to do is that Synology NAS, I have another, like an 8 terabyte drive sitting beside it that the NAS backs up to weekly. Okay, so there's some redundancy there. But at the end of the day, do I really need to be keeping all these things? Probably not. Probably not. Like once you upload a video to YouTube, it's on YouTube. I just like to also, I think it's a good idea to keep a copy of the video, but I take it even a step further. I keep all my source files and all my project files. If I wanted to, I could go back to a video that I made that I uploaded to YouTube a year ago and open up the project file, edit it in a different way, and render a new video, and then I've got a new video from those same assets. I'm never going to do that probably, but I can if I want to. So anyways, my point is you can be as diligent about this stuff as you want. You have to decide for you what is the most important to keep and what's not. At some point, if I start running out of space, which I'm nowhere close to running out yet, but if I start running out of space, I'm probably not going to get more hard drives. I might start, okay, do I really need all these source files? Probably not. I'll start deleting some of the old source files. Still keep the finished videos. So anyways, I hope that you find that helpful. First time I got to watch it live. I normally watch the catch-ups. Oh, well, welcome. Yes, you are live. It's funny, too. I usually get a lot of comments, not a lot, but a few every week, it seems, after the live is over, and it might be several hours later, a comment will come in, and it's somebody answering questions that I asked during my live. So it's like, I think they think I'm live then, but I'm not. So I'll just often explain, actually the live ended a few hours ago. This is the comments. So that's the way it works. When you're live, you can comment in the live chat, which is what you guys are doing right now. Once the live is over, the live chat stops. Well, I think it continues for about 5 minutes, and then it stops. But then when the live chat stops, the comments section opens up and now you can leave comments, right? And I also think it takes a few hours after my live is over, it takes a few hours before the live chat comes back and is watchable on the replay, right? Because YouTube has to do its processing. It's basically turning that live stream into a video on demand. The video is available right away, but things like the live chat and the transcript, they take a little bit of time to create for YouTube or to process. Mac is catching up. We got 41% Mac and 45% PC now. 6% both, 8% other. All right, let's see now. Shorts versus long form. Some people say that shorts are a terrible strategy, but top creators use them all the time. It depends. It depends. As with most questions about how to do things on YouTube, it depends. You have to decide what your strategy is going to be for your channel. All right, what kind of channel do you want? Do you want a shorts channel or a long channel, or do you want to be able to do both? If you want to be, regardless of what format your videos are going to be, all of your videos should be in the same niche, on the same topic, geared towards the same audience. Okay, that is the number one rule. So can you do that with both shorts and long form videos? Sometimes, but not always. There's a significant portion of the shorts viewing population that don't ever watch long form videos. That you need to keep in mind. Okay, so if you start off, I see a lot of people saying that, oh yeah, I want to get into YouTube. Eventually I want to get to long form, but I'm going to start out with shorts, because they're shorter, I can make them faster and, just to cut my teeth on those. And then eventually I'll graduate to longs. That's not a good idea, because if you start getting any amount of growth with those shorts, you could be getting a lot of subscribers or a greater percentage of your subscribers that never watch longs. So when you finally do make the switch to long form videos, maybe only 20% of your subscribers are ever even going to see them when you come out with them, right? And I feel like, some people say, well, YouTube knows where your audience comes from, so they're only going to put those, when you come up with a long form video, they're only going to put those in front of people who watch long form videos. That's true, but I've heard a lot of stories from people that say, shorts are doing great, and I've gained a lot of subscribers from shorts, But when I try to do a long, like they just don't go anywhere and people don't want to watch them. So, I tend to think that in that case, the fact that your shorts are what grew your channel in the beginning, that fact could be hurting the growth or the potential growth of your long form videos when you decide to make them. So that's why I don't like that approach. I think let me dispel this argument. When somebody tells me, yeah, I want to cut my teeth on shorts, they're shorter, I can make them faster, they don't take as much time to make, and I see results quicker. You don't need to make long form videos long, okay? So shorts can be up to 3 minutes long. You can make a long form video that's less than 3 minutes if you want, right? No matter how long it is, as long as it's filmed horizontally, right? Or in landscape mode, if you prefer, it'll be a long form video when you upload it, whether it's 3 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, whatever, right? Short. So I'm just trying to dispel the fact that, you can make short, long form videos in relatively short amount of time. This is probably the same amount of time as it takes you to make a short. Okay. So if your eventual goal is long form videos, that's how you want to grow your channel, I would start with that. Now, if your goal is to be a primarily shorts channel and the odd time you're going to make a long form video, then start with shorts, right? There's two different audiences, basically, vastly different viewing habits. Okay. People who like shorts and only shorts, there's a reason they don't want to watch long form videos. They like shorts. They like short form content. In a lot of cases, my son will be the first to tell me that, my generation has been ruined by shorts and TikToks. We don't have the attention span for anything longer than that. He tells me he has a hard time watching movies, right? It's too long. Who wants to sit through a 2-hour movie? I do. But less and less of the younger generation, and he's in his mid-20s, less and less of them want to watch movies. They would rather spend 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours scrolling through 15-second short videos, right? That's how they would prefer to spend their time. So it's a generational thing too. So who are you trying to reach? That's a big part of that question too, to shape what kinds of videos you want to make. Like if you don't care what kind of videos you want to make, think about who you're making your videos for and how do they want to watch their videos. If you're making videos for the people who are 18 to 25 years old, probably a really good high percentage of them are watching shorts more than long form videos. If your target audience is people over 60, then I would hazard to guess that the majority of them watch mainly long form videos. Okay, so there you go. There you go. That's it for that monologue. So just looking at the current chat here, I just do DGEMMUV. I just do shorts for my moto vlog, comedy, or moments. Yep, that's cool. That's, again though, you want to decide like what is your primary goal. If your primary goal is long form, and then you want to do some funny comedy skits that are geared towards the same audience as your long form videos, then it's fine to do shorts that way too. I use shorts as a discovery tool, no, that's the wrong term. Why did I even say that? I use shorts for branding purposes, just to remind people that I'm out there and that I have videos that they might want to check out, right? Because long form viewers will quite often kill time watching shorts, right? And if I happen to show up in front of people who are already subscribed to me in a short, I think that's good for branding. So that's the way I think of that. But yeah, if I wanted to make a video, if I saw my cat Peanut doing something funny and I thought I can make a funny video out of this, I would probably do that, but I would not upload it to this channel. Where is she? Where are you, Peanut? Oh, you're right down there. I wouldn't upload it on this channel because, if that happened to get millions of views, and if I got 50,000 subscribers from that, they would all want to see more funny cat videos. And that's not what my channel is all about. So I would create a different channel for that. You want to keep your different things separate, your different niches separate. Alrighty, happy Tuesday, everyone. Kim Marie, I'm enjoying your lives. Welcome. I am recording this Saturday and posting on July 1st. I only have my phone and things to talk about. Not going to wait any longer. Good for you, Gabriel. Go for it. Have fun. Good luck. Question, I stopped doing videos for a month or so because my dog was sick and subsequently passed. I'm sorry to hear that, Terry. That sucks. My channel stopped any growth, so do I just dive back in and algorithm will catch up? Yeah, that's what as long as your niche is the same and you're still talking to the same people, that's what I would do. I would just pick up where you left off and just try to be consistent with your uploads from this point on. And as long as you're still, again, as long as you're still reaching out to the same people in your videos, you should be fine. Hi, Rob. My channel has been going really well from when I started, but recently my views have come down by about 20%. Do you think regular shorts will help? P.S. Are you missing the snow? So, second question first. No, I'm not missing the snow. There was a time I really liked the snow. Like I used to ski a lot when I was younger. I used to play hockey, stuff like that. But no, I'm turning into more of a fair weather person. Do I think regular shorts would help? No, I don't. If you're a long form channel, I think what would help is just continue trying to reach your existing audience. Maybe try some new things in terms of the things you talk about. Maybe your audience might be interested in something slightly different than what you had been talking about. Maybe even go back into your library and what is it that you talked about in the past that did resonate well with them. Maybe either recreate a video like that or figure out a different angle, a different way you can present that information. A different title maybe that you could make a similar video on, but with a different title might be a good idea, right? So things like that is what I would do before I would go to shorts. Hey Connie, how you doing? Good to see you. Hello from beautiful British Columbia. Hello, good to see you from other side of the country. Afternoon, Rob from the UK. Thank you for producing your videos. Found them really interesting and informative as somebody who was in his mid-60s and dipping his toe into the water with creating a channel. Good luck with it, Brian. Have fun. You're in the right place. If there's any questions that you have, you can always ask them here or in the comments of any of my videos. Be happy to help. All right. Hello from North Carolina. Mindy, how you doing, Mindy? Good to see you. Lisa's here. How you doing, Lisa? From Tasmania. When you get monetized, are ads added to your shorts and your long form videos or just your long form? I believe it's both. It's both, but you can turn them off on a video by video basis if you want. But globally, you are able to add ads to both types of videos if you want. Good morning. My question, I am new to YouTube with only shorts that haven't gone anywhere. I'm looking to do long form, but what's the best way to upload? Private, unlisted, etc. So I've made a video about this. I prefer private or just upload it and have it go live right away. That's fine too. If you're not ready for it to go live, then maybe make it private until you are ready. You could always schedule it. That'd be fine. I don't love unlisted myself, but the difference is with unlisted, you can copy a link to that video and send it to other people to have a look at, right? Also, if you add your unlisted videos to playlists, they will be available in those playlists. So technically they are kind of public. Well, not public, but they're available for some people to see, people who you may have sent a link to, and those people might have sent the link to somebody else as well. So private is the cleanest way to do it. Just keep it private until you're ready for it to go public. and you can either manually switch it over if you're at your computer or on your phone when the time comes, or you can schedule it for that time, is what I would do. Question, how are you determine if the brand who is contacting you for the sponsorship is legit or not? I feel like there are so many scammers around. 100%, yes, there are. You've got to be careful with that. I use AI to help me with that. I will copy and paste the email that I get into ChatGPT or Claude. And I will also copy and paste the email headers, right? Like expand the email headers, copy them all, paste it in, and say, I just got this sponsor request from somebody. I'm not sure if it's legit or not. Can you have a look and let me know? So I've found that really handy. That helps. Rule of thumb, don't click any links in an email like that, because you could be asking for trouble there. You could end up accidentally downloading a virus or malware or something like that. You also don't ever want to log in to like a portal that one of these companies says you need to log in to your YouTube account through their portal, right, to get set up, then we can pay you. No, you don't need to do that. That's how people have lost their channels, right? If you can imagine, what some of these scammers will do is they'll set up a fake page, or it's a real page, but they own it, not the actual company that they're trying to impersonate as the sponsor company. And they'll say, yeah, enter your username and password here, click here, and then you can sign up and get, put into our portal. But what's actually happening is the username and password is just getting sent to them. So then they can log into your YouTube channel, change the password on you. Now they own it, and now they're going to use it for bad things. And right, and it usually just gets your channel removed. They'll do things that are against YouTube's policies, and your channel will get deleted. So that's happened, and I've seen videos on that. It sucks when it happens, but it's something you have to look out for. So yeah, use ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or Copilot or your favorite AI chatbot, and it can help you with things like that. Alrighty, let's see now. Hey Robin, how you doing? Good to see you. Hope all is well out west. Good afternoon from Lakeland, Florida. How you doing, Kevin? Good to see you as well. My 50-plus life from Louisiana. Hot and sunny here. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome unless you have to wear a suit and go to work. Otherwise, if you're sitting by a pool in a bathing suit, then it's awesome. Is a Chromebook... Oh, sorry. I already answered that. Okay. I think I've gone backwards here. Brian, what suggestion do you have for a beginner in his 60s in regard to a mic, tripod, and software for editing? My Labrador Cello will be starring in my videos like your cat. Ah, very good. So for a beginner, your 60s, mic, tripod, software. So I would keep it simple, right? As far as your equipment, you didn't say equipment. Well, you said mic. I love the DJI mics, these guys here. I've got to hide my face. It focuses on my face. These little mics, you probably, if you watch my videos, you've seen me with this on here, this little DJI mic. They're great. And there's a little hard drive on them so you can record directly to them, which is awesome. Or if you plug this part of it into your phone or camera, whatever, the audio will go directly into your phone. So I just don't do it that way anymore. I find it just as easy to sync my audio afterwards. So I'd use a mic like that. I would use my phone is all I would use. Editing, tripod, I mean, anyone will do. I like the Yukos selfie stick, and there's links for this and the selfie stick / tripod that I use. This is the Yukos one. There are links to these in my description below. See, it doubles as a tripod. You can extend it, and it can stand, I don't know, 4 feet off the ground or something like that, maybe higher. Yeah, up there. So I don't know how high that is, probably 5 feet or so. But for the most part, I just hold this like this when I'm walking, and that's how I make most of my videos, with my phone on here and that mic. And That's all I use. And then for editing software, so it's going to depend on what computer you have. We talked about before. I was just going to, there are free options for you. You can use CapCut is free to start with. DaVinci Resolve is free to start with, but DaVinci Resolve requires some more computing power. As we heard from somebody earlier today, 16 gigs was not enough for them. So if your computer can handle it, DaVinci Resolve is fantastic. It's a free version. There's a free version that'll do basically everything you need it to do, but it needs computer power. Or there's there's iMovie if you're an Apple person, or iPhone, right? iMovie is free, comes on your Mac and on your phone. So there you go. There's some options. If you want my suggestion for what I think is the easiest video editing app to learn, I say Camtasia. Very few other people say that because it's a little bit obscure, it's not that popular, but I've been using it forever and I love it. So, and I've got a link to that down below as well. Hey Russ, how you doing? Good to see you. Here's a question. Does video length matter anymore? YouTube used to say 8 minutes for long form, but has that changed? So there's partial truth to that. You can make a YouTube video as long as you want or as short as you want. Okay, so that's number one. The 8-minute thing, again, I'm only speaking for the last 5 years or so. I don't know what it used to be before that. I think I had heard from my son that at one point 10 minutes was a magic number for getting monetized. But no, the 8-minute thing is, if your video is not 8 minutes long, if it's shorter than 8 minutes, then there can be no mid-roll ads in those videos, right? There can only be an ad at the beginning and the end, I believe, but no mid-roll ads, no ad in the middle. If it's longer than 8 minutes, there can be ads in the middle, okay? So that's all the 8-minute thing is, and I don't pay a lot of attention to that. I've got videos that are longer, most are longer, but some are shorter, but I don't ever say to myself, oh crap, that video was 7.5 minutes long. I should have made it another 30 seconds. No, because the way I think about that is the shorter the video, the more people will watch it. The longer the video, fewer people will watch it. Yes, there may be 1 or 2 mid-roll ads in it, but how many people are actually going to get to those, right? If it's longer, right? So because of that, I don't tend to worry about that too much, but that's the bottom line. In this day and age, it also depends on the content that you make. If your content is the type that people will want to watch a lot of it for a long time, then make longer videos. If you are making tutorial type things, teaching people how to do things, then only make it as long as it has to be to get, to teach what you want to teach. Okay, so some rules of thumb there. All righty. Question, do you think YouTubers may be the next movie studios using AI? Interesting. YouTubers are already making videos. There are YouTubers that have full studios that make full-on movies. But when you add the using AI part, so that's where I'm probably going to differ. Yes, the technology is advancing such that people can use AI to create movies, right? And they don't need real actors, and anybody can make them. That is all true. But what people are forgetting is that your average viewer isn't interested in watching things like that, for the most part. I mean, there's always going to be exceptions, but what I'm seeing on YouTube today are viewers coming to YouTube to watch real people make real, authentic videos, talking about real issues, real things, sharing stories, things like that. I don't see, and maybe it's just my generation and the fact that I'm in my 50s, but I'm not interested in watching as much AI. AI doesn't bother me. It's just that if somebody is making an AI video and they're using an AI avatar to make a video teaching me how to do something, I don't know. I would rather watch a real person myself. And I think there's a lot of people like that, would rather watch real people. Now, this may change as we continue on in time and my generation dies off and the younger generation comes up. Maybe they don't mind as much, but I still think right now anyways, there is a huge demand for people being real on YouTube. So I'm talking to creators now. If you're a creator, try not to get caught up in this AI generation stuff. There's only going to be more and more people coming on board and trying to make videos with AI and making them faster, and more people doing that, and YouTube trying to kind of fight them off. It's like, no, our viewers really don't want this much of this stuff. And so they change their rules and they're demonetizing some channels that are tripping off some red flags, right? And some people are getting caught up in that mistakenly. But yeah, so it's a real battle going on there. But what I say is the more and more people that come on and wanting to use AI and using AI to make videos, that I think just makes it even more appealing to people like you and I who are willing to put ourselves in our videos and make content with, as a real person, right? Sure, you can use AI. I could use AI to create an avatar of myself that would speak without the ums and ahs and the pauses and speak perfectly and clean up my, mispronunciations, right? I could do that. That technology exists. But what I'm asking myself is, do my audience want to see that? And I would be willing to bet no. They would rather me as the way I am, and not a cleaned up, fixed version of me, right? I don't think people are looking for perfect. They're just looking for, community. They're looking for relationships. They're looking to get to know their creators, right? So anyway, those are my thoughts. Hey, what are you doing? You helping? Did you guys see that tail? Alrighty. How much can you trust AI when brainstorming video ideas? They have a tendency of just trying to please you instead of being honest. You can't necessarily. AI is not like a trusted brain. Like, you can't trust it in that sense. If there's facts that you're needing to research, then push back a little bit and do your own research. I think AI is more useful for things like helping you be organized or helping you code things, which is what I've been getting into lately. I think it's great for things like that. But it's not necessarily good for, hey, AI, I heard this. Is that true or is it false? It's something I read on the internet. Is it true or is it false? You have to remember, AI is just going to the internet and then regurgitating what it finds back to you, right? So if it finds something that's false, it's going to present it to you, even though it's false. It may not know it's false, okay? So AI is not like the ultimate truth teller and is not always right, because there's a lot of incorrect information on the internet that AI has access to. So yeah, no, you really have to be careful. It depends on what you're talking about, what kind of information you need, what kind of information you're asking it for. You've got to be careful and kind of do your own research. All right now. Rob, do you have to log into a tool through browser? Don't they have options to install so you can work offline? So now I forget what we're talking about here. Yeah, no, I don't know what we're talking about here. It depends on the tool, right? Like Canva, for instance, I log in online because I use it online. Now they have a desktop version of that, but I've never downloaded that. Peanut, do not. Come here. Come here. You're going to unplug something. Come on. Come here. Come on. Come on. You can't be back there. Here. Why don't you say hi? Say hi. And now lay down. Okay. All right. Now. Hiking with Cam, what kind of things have you vibe coded? I'm just getting started with that right now. I'm just trying to learn how to do things. Vibe coding is an interesting term, and I've actually researched that a little bit. I think it's a misused term sometimes, referred to as basically, so vibe coding, the way I see it, it's basically you using an AI tool. You describe in English what you want built and how you want it to look and how you want it to work, and then tell the AI to build it for you. And it builds it, you upload it, you're done. That's kind of vibe coding if you kind of work that way. And I think inherently built into that are some bad habits that people who aren't coders may not even know about, but there's some good practices. Things like when you're making so I'm not a software developer, but I know a little bit about that. I mean, I've always been around computers. I taught myself BASIC back in the day on a TRS-80 in the 80s. That was my first computer when I was a teenager. BASIC was a programming language. And I used to save it on cassette tapes, the programs I wrote. And so I know a little bit about that now. Coding has come a long way since then. I'm not really a coder, but there are things you got to watch out for. Like when you make software, okay, you make it to run on certain computers, all right, or mobile phones or whatever. Computers and mobile phones update their platforms from time to time. There's always upgrades, like upgrade to the latest iOS 20 point whatever, right? Or Windows 10, 11, 12, wherever they're at now, I don't know, right? They update. And as platforms like that update, programs that were made to run on earlier versions of it may or may not work anymore. So they often have to be updated, right? Like if you decide to create something and vibe code something, and it's to run in a browser, then maybe Chrome updates their browser, and something in the update causes your app not to work anymore. You're going to have to go back and make changes. Well, how do you do that? If you just vibe coded that, it's like, oh crap, it broke. It doesn't work anymore. So there are some good habits to get into. And again, I'm kind of learning how this is all working right now, how you're supposed to do these things, learning things like GitHub, right? For like, as a way to keep track of versions of software. So if you always upload to GitHub and then it uploads to the internet, if you have to make updates to it, you can update that in GitHub. And then anyways, so yeah, you have to kind of be careful. You almost have to leave breadcrumbs as you're making something so that you can kind of go back and know how to get back to a certain point and then kind of go off again. So I don't know if that's making any sense. All my point is, like, if you have like a killer idea for an app that's like, oh my God, this is going to be fantastic, right? And you start vibe coding it without any knowledge of tracking versions and things like that, you could get to a place where, okay, your app might work, but then 20 days later, when something gets updated with either Windows or iPhone or PCs or Google Chrome or however it's supposed to run, something gets updated, or the database that you use or whatever, and all of a sudden it doesn't work, and you may not have the first clue of how to fix it. So things to keep in mind when building things like that. Let me just look at the current chat here. See, Claude by Anthropic. Yes, that's what I'm using. How do you deal with the emotional swings of creating content? From Juan. Emotional swings of creating content. I'm not really sure how to answer that. I try to keep my emotions in check, I guess. I don't tend to have, but that's me. So maybe you mean like if you're, I really don't know how to answer that. Like if you're making content that makes you emotional, and I don't even know if this is what you mean, and maybe you feel overwhelmed or something, then maybe recognize that and maybe recognize that it's time for a break. right? Because you want to watch out for things like burnout. Now, if by emotional swings you're talking about maybe you're watching your analytics too closely, and one video does really well, but then your next 20 videos all do horribly, then and you get down because of that, then it's a matter of maybe recognizing that maybe you're watching your analytics a little too closely, and maybe it doesn't matter as much. You really have to enjoy the YouTube game if you want to avoid those emotional swings, I guess. You have to enjoy it. YouTube is a game with ups and with downs, and we don't usually have that much control over it. All we have control over is the videos that we make. We try to make videos that our audience wants to watch, and we don't always hit the mark. And that's just the way it's going to be. So we just keep trying, and you have to be okay with that and almost treat it like a game, like a fun game. It's like, oh, that didn't work. I wonder why. Oh, it could be that, could be this, could be that. I'm going to make another video. This time it's going to be about this. Let's see how that works. And enjoy that whole process. It's not at all like a regular job. There's no, you can't predict growth with YouTube. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of danced all around your question, but I hope you found it helpful. Let's see. Peanut wants my attention. Yeah, she's okay now. You all right now? Let's bring the Peanut cam back up. There we go. She's settling in now. There's the Peanut cam. All right. I'm really digging the interactivity with the multicam. So that's cool. That's a cool thing to play with. Awesome. Here's a question. I have $300 in my budget. Assuming my video, camera, lighting, and video editing software are good, how would you recommend using the $300 towards my channel? Thank you for your content. So, okay, your video camera is good. Your lighting is good. Your editing software is good. Okay, I was ready to tell you just keep it in your pocket and don't spend it, but you never said anything about a mic. If you don't have a mic, I'd spend it there. I would get a good mic that's wireless. Again, it depends on the videos you're making, right, as to whether you need wireless or fixed. But wireless can be used anywhere. So that's the one thing. But if you have a mic and you just forgot to mention it, I would save your money. You don't need to spend it anywhere. Certainly don't spend it on promoting videos. Don't do that. If anybody's considering that, don't. You could hurt your channel. Hey Heidi, how you doing? Good to see you. I just got back from a scouting mission to find outdoor space to film in Phoenix. It's 10:30 a.m. right now and already 91 degrees. So unless I get outside at 6 a.m. in the shade, it's too hot and sunny. Yep, that's exactly what I would do. I would get up maybe even 5 a.m. and do my filming there. So maybe the night before, get clear on what it is. That happens to me a lot. Like I'll decide maybe the day or the night before, okay, I want to make a video tomorrow. And the morning comes and I'm not ready. I want to make a video now. Oh, but I'm not ready. So I have to do more research and get my ideas straight and get my bullet points made and figure out what I want to make the video about. Next thing I know is noon. And it's like, oh, wow, I wanted to do it sooner than this. So anyway, my point is try to do all the pre-work or the prep work the night before so that you can go out the door at 6 a.m. or whenever works for you. Bug spray sponsor. When? Yeah, I don't know. That'd be, yeah, there's a lot of bugs around here that we're getting some weather this week. When I say, sorry, not weather, nice weather, warm weather. It's getting up to, I think, 29 tomorrow. What is that? Where's my chat GPT? There it is. What is 29C in F? It knows how to answer me when I say that. So it's going to be 84 here tomorrow. So that's pretty hot for here in the summer for the, right on the coast. We don't usually get it that warm. So 84. What we need is like several days of that, and that'll kill off all the black flies. Because until it gets really warm, they tend to hang around. Question, I have a professional IT guy in my model railroad community. He recommends staying away from the $500 to $600 laptops. He recommends a commercial level laptop for YouTube. Yeah, so probably because of the video editing, okay? Yeah, so video editing is the only thing that require, of everything that I do with YouTube, now maybe with the exception of Claude Code now, but even that doesn't need a whole lot. But like making my thumbnails, doing my research with AI, research, browsing YouTube, none of that requires power. Editing requires power, okay? So, or also the way I live stream, like again, I've got 2 cameras connected, this one and that one I've got connected. I've got that one, so that's a third one, and then of course my phone. So I've actually got 4 cameras fed into this live stream, and then also sharing my screen, which there's nothing on it right now. So there's a lot happening. 2 of those cameras are run into cam links because they're 4K cameras and DSLR type. That one up there is just a webcam, so that's just USB. That doesn't require a whole lot of bandwidth. And my iPhone is wireless, so that doesn't need any bandwidth. But it still means the computer's doing stuff. But still, with all of that, I think you could still do that on a cheaper computer than what I have. Maybe not with the $500 to $600 ones, no. Okay, oh, you can combine Mac Minis to make a more powerful computer. Very good. But again, as a YouTuber, I don't know that you even need that unless you're getting into like rendering 4K, 8K videos even that are super long, and you want to save some time, then more power will help there. But other than that, the only reason I think you would need more power would be if you get into like 3D model rendering and stuff like that really needs computer processing power, or gaming, right? Like gaming requires lots of, high-powered graphics and things like that. But Macs don't tend to be great for gamers. Gamers tend to go towards the PCs, where computers are more DIY-like. You can take the hood off and put in more RAM and put in a better graphics card and all these things, which you can't do that with a Mac. So yeah, as a YouTuber, I don't think you would ever need to combine Mac Minis. I think that would be overkill. Unless there's something I'm not thinking about it's something that I'm not doing that I'm not thinking about, but I can't think of what that might be. Rather late comment, but I still use a Windows laptop for files managing. However, after switching to a MacBook Air bags, I love the silence of the Mac. Yep. Yeah, I do too. My last Windows computer was quite loud, and this one is silent. Found a perfect, beautiful space close to my house, so I'm super excited to film my next video there. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Let me see. Let's go. See what questions I might have missed here. What is a good, consistent schedule, in your opinion? That's going to be different for everybody. It's going to depend on how much time you have, how long your videos are. I've ranged anywhere from once a week to 3 times a week. Lately, it's been 1 a week, almost 1 a week. I think last week I don't think I had one, which, that's just because I was busy. I want to do at least 1 a week. I look at it, if you want to grow a channel, I think 1 video a week is probably the minimum for growing a channel. Any longer than that, and it just becomes harder to grow. If you could do 2 a week, I think that'd be great. But now, if your videos are 2 hours long, not many videos are, but 2 a week might be overkill. Like no one's going to watch 4 hours of one creator, or not many people will. But if your videos are average, say 10 to 15 minutes, you could do 2, 3 a week if you have the time. but 1 a week is fine. So it really depends on your schedule, what you can do. I need to be careful inviting viewers to send me photo to show on my channel. Sometimes I send them in external links or Google. Sorry, I missed that. Do I need to be careful inviting viewers to send me photos to show on my channel? Sometimes I send them in external links or Google. You always want to be careful whenever somebody sends you an email with a link in it, right? If you're unsure, then what I would do is I would right-click that link, copy the link, paste it into ChatGPT, and say, is there anything wrong with this link? Is there any danger in me clicking this link? Ask that, and it'll tell you, right? So that's the wonderful thing about AI. Is it okay to watch your own video? Sure. It's not going to help in terms of growth, right? Because YouTube knows who you are, that you are your own. So yeah, I wouldn't do it for that reason, but actually I would recommend watching your own video after you upload it to make sure it is what you wanted it to be, and just to maybe watch it with with an eye, looking for things you like and things you don't like, right? Like try to watch it not as yourself, but as somebody who doesn't know you, and is it something that they would want to watch, right? There may be things you don't like about it, make a note of those things. Things you do like about it, make a note of those things, right? So basically you're watching it, you're researching your own videos so that you know what to do next, right? Like what to not do next, what to do more of next, things like that. So yeah. Question. My channel is about my antique booth. I'm uncomfortable saying where my shop is. I am not in a big city. I don't feel comfortable saying where my shop is, town of 4,500. You don't have to then. You don't have to. I don't know what your question was, but no, if you're not comfortable sharing where you're at, you don't have to, right? That's totally up to you. Started my YouTube channel 1 year and 2 months ago using your video instructions. Now I'm monetized and have 1,200 subs. Awesome, Amy, way to go. Congrats. That's great to hear. Love it. Bernie, hi Rob. How can I make a part of the video in black and white with Camtasia? Very easily. Let me show you. Let me share my screen. Since Camtasia is what I use, I can absolutely show you this. So here's a video. Let's say this clip right here. If I want to make that black and white, you select the clip, first of all, okay? And then here, let me just drag this over here so this looks a little more, okay, and fit here. Okay, so select this video clip. You're going to come over to Properties and Color Adjustment. If you don't see Color Adjustment here, and you won't if you haven't added it, you have to add that effect first. And you do that from Visual Effects, Color Adjustment. You just click this and drag it down there. I'm not going to do that because I've already done it. You can see that effect right here, Color Adjustment. And that's because I did some color adjustment. That is the raw video recorded from my iPhone. The few color adjustments I made, let me click this to turn this back on, made it look like that. A little deeper, a little more saturation, and you can see here, I've got the brightness down a bit, I've got the contrast up a little bit, and the saturation up 24. So you can change these sliders to change things like that, right? So, and then Command Z to go back. So anyway, to get it to black and white, I believe it's the saturation one. Yeah, turn saturation all the way down. Now it's black and white. They're in the Alumni Hub right now. So once the main program is over, you then go. Okay, that's it. So now I'm just going to Command Z to change that back. So again, color adjustment effect, drag it onto your clip, and then under color adjustment, you want to turn the saturation down to 0, and then that'll go black and white. There you go. Same effect in Canva, by the way, if you want to get a black and white effect on your video in Canva, I believe. Let's just go there. If I share my screen again, now we're looking at Canva. And if I just go into here, this is my thumbnail for today's live. If I make a copy of this, okay, so I'm going to mess around with the copy, and here's the background image that I used. If I want to make that black and white, let's go Edit. There we go. Adjust. And I believe it's saturation again. Turn the saturation down. Yep, there you go. All the way down to black and white. Now if I change that back to wherever it was, another neat little trick, and I've shown you guys this before, but let's say I just want to make the background black and white, but not me. So I'm going to make a copy. No, delete. That didn't work. Control V. So I made a copy of this. Let's remove the background from the copy. Okay, now I want to select the one underneath it. Let's go to Position, Layers, select the one underneath, and Edit. Adjust. Saturation off. There. Now the background is black and white, but I am color. There you go. Little trick there for, that might make a good video. Maybe I should make that into a video. There you go. There you go. Let's look at the current chat. Let's see. The Breast Cancer Companion, an app. Oh, that's cool. You're making an app? Chaito, I really appreciate all your advice. I'm 180 subs to go for my 1,000 to be fully monetized. Way to go. Congrats. That's awesome. It's not in the App Store yet. Okay. I've made it. Very good. Let's see what other questions we got here. Oh, what video switcher are you using, Rob? I'm actually using not an external switcher at all. I'm using Ecamm Live. I've created different scenes in Ecamm. And if I go back to the Peanut Cam, she's asleep now, and just kind of turn this on this. So here's my Ecamm Live, right? And I've created scenes down here. So this is the iPhone scene. If I click on Skycam, for instance, right there, it'll change to that one. Let's go back to the, now you can't see what I'm clicking now, because if I go back to iPhone, you can. And then the comfy cam is what I've called this one, in the comfy chair over here, this camera. That's, so what you just saw was from, oh, let's go back to the iPhone, was from that camera there. I've got that camera tuned in on the chair. So anyways, I create all these scenes. Whoops, sorry, let's go back. Create all these scenes right here in Ecamm, and then I map them to the Stream Deck over here. Oh, there's my toothpick. Right, I map them to the Stream Deck, so I can just press a button. So press this to go to just me, and so on. So that's my. So I guess the video switcher is I use the Stream Deck as a as the hardware, but you don't need that. You could just click the play buttons of the individual scenes that you create in Ecamm Live. Yeah, so that's how I do that. Where do you post when you're going live? I went live again yesterday, but only got 63 people to come through. Do you post on other platforms? No, I don't. I suppose you could try that. If you have some of your viewers on other platforms, you could advertise it there. But I think it's a good idea to advertise in your videos that you're going live. So the video before you go live, maybe mention it. And also you can post in the community post on YouTube. You can post it there, and then people will come from there, right? So that's what I would suggest you do. And yeah, I agree, Scott. 63 people is pretty good for a channel. Don't get that many and would love to have that many show up. Yeah, 63 is good. Let's see. $63 is a lot on the live stream at one time. It sure is. You may even make a video for it. I think that's a good idea, Miko. I think that's a good idea. A dedicated video that, you know, if the only purpose of the video is to advertise your live stream, the video itself may not do that great. Kind of like the video I make whenever like just last weekend, I relaunched the Creators Growth Project, my mentorship program. Whenever I do a video like that, it does horribly when compared to my other videos on my channel. But it's a sales video. It's not designed to get a ton of viewers. It's just designed to let those know who might be interested what I'm offering. So in your case, your live streams, same kind of thing. The video itself may not do well, but it may result in more people going to your live stream. So in that case, it might be worth it. Yeah, but in addition to that, you can just mention it, just get in the habit of mentioning it in all of your videos, the fact that you go live, right? And in fact, I haven't been doing that much lately in my videos. I should probably get back to doing that because the numbers are down in these live streams compared to what they used to be. So maybe that might be part of it. I'm just not mentioning it enough anymore. Does anyone know how to connect a thumbnail to the app I created using Claude? Yeah, I'm not there yet. A thumbnail for an app. Yeah, so yeah. The only thing I've made so far is web-based apps, and there's really no thumbnail, it's just a URL. But if you've made an app for like a mobile device, that's a different story, and I don't know where you would upload that. But I bet you Claude knows. That's one of the tricks I've learned, that you can have Claude Code open in one window, and then, you know, in the downloaded desktop app of Claude Code, but then open up a browser version of Claude and just leave it on Claude Chat, and you can ask it questions, have the two windows open at the same time. So I would ask that very question to Claude. Say, I've now created where do I go to upload this to my app or attach it to my app? And it'll walk you through it. You can connect Claude Cowork to vidIQ. Very nice integration. Interesting. I haven't actually used Cowork yet, but that looks super cool too. Claude Cowork is when you can actually get Claude to do things on your computer, delete files, create folders, you know, connect it to vidIQ, like you say. You can connect it to your Google Drive or your Google Sheets and get it to create and populate spreadsheets automatically on a schedule, things like that. I think this... See, this is where my mind goes with this whole AI thing. I know a lot of people, and I'm in the YouTube space, YouTube growth and all that, and there's a lot of people looking at all these AI apps designed to help creators make videos, right? So there's video generators, AI video generators, AI image generators even. And, you know, I look at all those as kind of cool and maybe good idea generators, I guess. But when it comes right down to it, I'm not going to use an AI video generator and probably not even an AI image generator. And I know a lot of people do. And I even have a sponsor that has an AI thumbnail generator. And I like using it to help with ideas. But I want to use a real image of me in my thumbnails. I don't want to generate a fake image or an AI generate an image. But AI, I think, is fantastic, and I've only scratched the surface, fantastic at creating tools that will make me more productive, right? I'm creating a tool that is a title and thumbnail text generator. You know, enter your idea, what's your video about, and what's your channel about, and okay, here's some ideas, right? It's very simple. That's the first kind of test project that I've built. Incredibly simple, but right. So there's so many different things. But like, if there's anything mundane that you do in your, like maybe you track your stats, or even like QuickBooks, right? I use QuickBooks for my business. I could probably build something with Claude Code now, just with sentences, no code, that would replace QuickBooks, right? You could use Claude to build an app that would replace Calendly, your scheduling app, right? I haven't done that, but you could use it to create an app for your business, right? Instead of signing up to a company that would build an app for you, for example. So many different things you could do. So I think where this is going, the way I like to see it going, the way I would use it is, if you can come up with an idea, then AI can help you build it. Whatever that idea is, something to help you be more productive, something for your clients, something like a standalone app that people might be willing to buy or subscribe to, right? You could build stuff like that now. vidIQ and Claude will pull through and track the stats for you automatically to a dashboard. Yep, very cool. Very cool. Frank, question. Hi, Rob. Would you consider using a different background opposed to what you have when recording? Something like masking out the background and putting a picture behind it. I don't love that myself, Frank. I just think that takes away from some of the authenticity, right? So, yeah, and I know people do this. I see it in Zoom meetings, for instance, and in that case, that's fine. If there's something you don't want people to see in the background, then you can blur it out, or you can, green screen yourself out and put a fake background back there. Totally fine. But if you're making videos that you want to do well on YouTube, you want them to help grow your channel, then I think authenticity wins every time. And that means not blurring the background in an unnatural way. I mean, you can use a lens like what I'm using here, and the background is somewhat blurry. That's different. That's more natural. But if I used software to generate fake blurriness, I haven't seen where software is all that good at that. Like any time I've seen that done, you can tell. And it's usually around, yourself. You can see around the edges that there's a little funny artifacting going on, and you can tell. And it just it looks like you're trying to do something that, it looks semi-professional. So there's that. And as far as the fake background, like if you're sitting in your office, but you want to make it look like you're on a ski hill, for instance, if it applies to the story, then maybe it's okay. Like, if I wanted to prove a point and say, last week I was at a ski hill, and then boom, switch to ski hill being behind me, that might be almost like a comedic effect, like something funny but for the purposes of just blanking out what's behind you, or if you don't want to put any effort into designing what's going to be behind you in your videos, I would tend to shy away from that. And I'll give you an example. So, and I still haven't done this, and I think, actually, Frank, I may have mentioned it to you in one of our meetings. So I was going to say, stop me if you've heard this before, but you've got no way to do that. But my point was going to be, I plan on making a video out in my workshop, right, where all my tools are, and my bike is, suspended, hanging from the ceiling, and my toolie that goes on the roof of the car is in the ceiling, and I got all kinds of ropes and wetsuits, and it's there's a ton of stuff in there, and it's an absolute disaster. It's a mess. But, one's first thought might be, I can't film there. That's an absolute disaster. I would look unprofessional. But I'd be willing to bet that if I made a video out there, even if it wasn't about anything that's out there, it could be about YouTube. If I made a video out there, I bet you some people would stick around a little bit longer just to see what's in the background and to try to figure everything out, especially if I'm moving around. Like if I pick the camera up and walk and have a different angle for a part of it, right? So that I guess what I'm trying to say is, you never really know what people are interested in. If you block everything out, then you're taking away any potential eye candy that could result in some people watching longer. And you're putting 100% of the focus on you and only you. If everything else is blurred out or blocked out or a fake image behind you, people will be able to tell, and now it's just you. You had better have a very good story to be able to, to carry your message and keep people watching through your video if it's only you. So, yeah, so that's, I guess, the bottom line is a lot of times we're looking for help to help carry our message. And, sometimes we use B-roll to help with that. If it's just me sitting in that chair making a video, again, the information better be able to carry itself. Otherwise, if I don't think it's interesting enough, then I'm going to add some B-roll, or I'll add some graphics on screen, or I'll zoom in for a shot if it's, or you know what I mean. That's when you start doing some things, some editing things, to try to keep people watching. So anyway, there you go. There you go. I just saw from Scott, that's hardcore, CL. I've seen creators making videos about unsubscribing to channels that use AI for anything. They don't see any nuance in the question of to use or not use AI. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I don't think I'd make a video telling people to unsubscribe to people who use AI. Who's going to listen to that anyways, right? People are going to do what they're going to do. Alrighty now. Agree. If you have something you hold up to show, it'll look odd too. Part of the background you will be funky typically. Yes, that's right. Tech for Dads. Yeah, that's right. Agreed. Hey, y'all. Hey, Kendi. How you doing? Good to see you. Linda says, can you speak to audio channels? What is the most important element? Are you referring to audio, like music service channels, like where you can get music for your videos? If so, I mean, you have to be careful of copyright, right? You can't just use any old music you find on the internet in your videos, or you could get a copyright strike, or your video could be monetized by the owner of that music. So if you ever want to put music in your videos, you want to make sure you pay for it. Or use YouTube, the YouTube music library, right? Those you can use for free. But any other place you get music, if you're not paying for the rights to use that music, you can't use it. Or you certainly can't monetize your channel. YouTube will flag it and send the money to the owner of the music. So that leaves the services. What services can you sign up for to get music to put in your video? And there's many. I like Epidemic Sound, and that's what I have a link to in my description below. I love the way it works, the search features. There's tons of music choices, tons of sound effect choices. That's where I get all that stuff. I don't often use a lot of music in my videos. Sometimes I don't use any. And when I do, it's usually the same song, but not always. Like the song you hear at the beginning of my live streams, I got that from Epidemic Sound. And anytime you hear a sound effect in my videos, it's from Epidemic Sound. But there's other ones too. There's Audio, spelled with 2 I's. There's storyblocks.com. And I always draw a blank after that. There are other ones. There's other, Motion Array, I believe, has music as well. Not as much as Epidemic Sound. Yeah, so there's several. So I hope you found that helpful. He's not seeing my comments, huh? Is that me? Am I missing something? Let's see, where'd that go? And the DGE. Am I missing a question by him? Let's see. Oh no, I answered that. Oh, I think I answered that one, so I must be thinking about something else. Hi, Rob. Can you see my comment? Yes, I can. Hello, Tech Talk Comfy. How you doing? Good to see you. Just completed your creator spotlight form, Rob. Awesome, Kendall. Yeah, so I haven't really done much. So that's something I've set up for the future, hopefully near future. I've kind of put that on hold for a little bit while I'm doing some other things. But yeah, if you go to my, here, let's just do this. Share my screen with you guys. So if you go, or I'll go to this live stream right here, and I will mute it so there's no echo. That is this live stream. So down here, new community inbox. If you go there, you can fill out this form, and like if you have a question or a win you'd like to share, news you want to share, a negative comment you'd like me to talk about, anything like that, you can use this form to submit that, and this is working now. So there's that, and then the other one is the Creator Spotlight that was just mentioned. If you're interested in coming on this live, fill out this form. Or if there's another channel that you think I should reach out to bring them on and have a chat with them about, you know, what made them successful on YouTube or whatever. If you think it's something of value that the viewership here would be interested in, you can use that Creator Spotlight form to fill that out. And then at some point over the summer here, I'm going to start doing these Creator Spotlights. I'd like to include one most weeks. And it would just be like a short, probably a short 15 minutes or so. Bringing somebody on, I would give them a Zoom link. They would go to the Zoom meeting. I'd be able to then bring them, because Ecamm integrates with Zoom, I'd be able to bring them onto the live, and then I would ask them questions and get them to talk about, you know, how they grew their channel, right? So that's kind of the looking for inspirational stories, something to help motivate anybody who is on the fence about starting this whole YouTube thing or not. So yeah, if you're interested, check those out, those links. It's pronounced Kindy K, not Kendall. Oh, I'm sorry, Kindy. Kindy K. Names are important. Yes, yes. Right now I have my carport for videos for showing my antiques because my house is having a small uplift. What can I do to make my CP look better? What's your CP? Carport? Oh, geez, I don't know. Doesn't necessarily have to look good, does it? I guess it all depends on your video and what your... I think it's good to be intentional about what your background is, for sure. Right? So know what you want, and it's going to depend on what your video is about, right? What your video is about is probably going to dictate what you want in your video, and then just kind of take a look around your carport and pick a corner, I guess, or pick a side, pick a view, like just kind of walk around like this. Okay, what does this look like? Or walk around with your phone and you know, maybe do a little test recording to see if you like what's in the background. And if not, move some stuff around so that you do like what's there. I'm going to have to do the same thing out of my workshop when I do that. He's joking that I tried to tell you to look at the time. Yeah, I'm looking at the time. Just like that, almost 2 hours has gone, and I said this was going to be 90 minutes. So I've never yet, I don't think I've ever ended one of these on time or earlier than I said I would be. They all run long. Question, I uploaded my first video yesterday and I have 18 views. Is that good? Yeah, way to go. Awesome. It's really hard to say. I guess what I'll say is good is that you uploaded your first video yesterday. That's the best part of that whole thing. So that is awesome. Like, that's a huge first step that not many people make. There's a lot of people out there who want to do YouTube that never upload their first video. And so they never become a YouTuber. So you've done it. I wouldn't worry about the views. You've made your first video. Look at your own video and try to see how it could have been better. And now get to work on your next video and try to make it better than your last one. Okay? But speak to the same audience. Speak to the same people. And that's how you're going to grow your channel. And just try to get better with every video. And don't worry about the numbers right now. But congrats on starting. That is awesome. Beth says, I'm going to have to delete a ton of stuff from my phone so I can start creating YouTube videos. Yeah, that's something I didn't talk about earlier when I talked about storage and backup and stuff like that, because I also record with my phone. It's an iPhone, and I record on it all my outdoor videos. But my process is, once I've recorded my video, and I know I have enough, I've got enough space for probably 2 hours at 4K. I think I've got 256 gigs, and I don't keep a lot of photos and extra stuff on it because it's my work phone. I use it to make my videos. So know how much space you have on your phone, and a good way to do that is just look at it before you record a video in the aspect ratio and frame rate you want. So let's say it's 4K 30 you want to record in. Look ahead of time before you record a video and say, all right, this says I have, whatever, 20 gigabytes free. Then, film a 5-minute video, right? And then after you've filmed the 5-minute video with it still on your phone, look at your storage again. Now see how much space you have. The difference is how much space you need for 5 minutes of video. Okay, so then you can do the math and you can figure out how much room you have for, okay, so I've got room for an hour of video. Okay, so now you know that. That's good to know. Then what you want to do is when you make a video, when you film a video with your phone, you come back to your desk, your computer. If you're gonna edit it on your phone, that's a different story. I'm not going to speak to that as much. Let's assume you're going to edit it on a computer. So come back to your office, your home, whatever. Transfer that video to your computer, edit it, upload it to YouTube. You're done. Then you want to delete it off your phone. Okay, because now you've got a copy of it on your computer and you're going to save it in your folder structure, and the good copy, the rendered video, is uploaded to YouTube, and you've got a copy of it as well. You do not need it on your phone anymore. So you got to get in the habit of deleting it off your phone. I don't delete it right away. Like I transfer it to my computer. I AirDrop it because it's iPhone to Mac. I AirDrop it to my computer, and I leave it on my phone until I finish with the project, just in case. I don't know if it's never happened, knock on wood, but if I ever deleted it or the video file got corrupted on my computer somehow, at least it's still on my phone, I can get it again. So I wait till I've finished with the project and the video's done, and then I'll delete it up. Usually what I'll do, actually, when I go out to film a new video, I'll go through my photos folder, and I'll say, oh yeah, no, I see I never deleted my last video, so then I'll delete it right then, right? And now it's clean, ready to go for the next video. So that's a little bit about my workflow. Scott says, I move every video project onto an external drive after I put it on YouTube. I can only do one project at a time. Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people, to save money on hard drive space, I'm talking to Mac users now, hard drive space or storage space, it's not hard drive, it's SSDs. Storage space is expensive in a Mac, and you can't upgrade it either. It is what it is when you buy your Mac. So what a lot of people do is they'll only make sure they have enough storage for the apps they want to put on their computer, and they'll just edit off of an external drive, right? Macs, the ones today, have Thunderbolt 4, so you can, or 5 maybe even now, I'm not sure. But anyways, it's a fast enough connection that you can connect an SSD, solid state drive, via the USB-C port, the Thunderbolt port on your Mac, and it's just as fast as if it was an internal drive. Now, some of you technophiles out there might say, no, it's not as fast. The internal is always faster. Technically, yes, but I would be willing to bet that the video editing app that you use would not be able to take advantage of that extra speed where, with it being internal versus external SSD. That's what I've learned. So Camtasia, Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, all these, it can only pull it so fast from the drive versus from internally, okay? And it's the same. So you can keep your computer a little cheaper by not upgrading your internal SSD or storage and buying external SSD instead and editing directly from that. Then your project file is never on your computer. But then you're also carrying around an external drive with a little dongle and plug it in, and that's just something else you have to carry with you. I don't love that, but again, it would save you money if you wanted to do that. So there you go. There you go. I store onto a flash drive, Barefoot Lawn says. Very good. Hello from Staffordshire, UK. Hello, Nottingham. How you doing? Started my channel recently to document me leaving work and starting my own business. Congrats. That sounds cool. Awesome. Question. I use a flash drive to store. Oh, that's cool. I have 512 gigs on my iPhone, but I still delete everything off my phone right after I upload to computer, and I have watched it on my computer once. Perfect. Yeah, it's a good habit to get into, even if you have enough space. Scott says, my M1 Mac with 1 terabyte is still able to live stream and edit 4K videos in Final Cut. Maybe that's a data point for some of you. Awesome. Very good. Yeah, sounds like you have the same computer I do, except I don't know about your processor. The M1 came in 3 different versions, I think. M1, M1 Pro, and M1 Max. And mine is the Max. And yeah, so it can get confusing. Tech Talk Comfy, I have a 40 mega DPS. It's fast. MDPS? Is that MBPS? Megabits per second? Is that upload speed then we're talking about? Hubby is using InShot from his phone, but seems tedious and takes a long time to upload. InShot, yeah, I think that's a free editing app on Android-type phones, which is fine. But the part where you say it takes a long time to upload, that has nothing to do with InShot or your phone. That's got everything to do with your internet connection. So if you're uploading something from a phone, you need a very good connection. So that would be, if it's a phone, it's wireless probably. So that would be Wi-Fi. Or maybe you're uploading through the cell phone towers or mobile network. Either way, it's probably not as fast as if you were uploading from a wired computer, a computer wired to the internet. But again, it depends on your internet speed, whether you're Wi-Fi or wired. Ultimately, like what kind of speed are you paying for with your internet service provider, right? That is what decides how fast or how long it's going to take to upload a video, not so much the actual hardware you're uploading from. Hope that makes sense. Scott says, I was incorrect about my RAM. I have 16. That probably helps a lot with Final Cut. Yeah, 16, yeah. And if that's working for you, then awesome. Again, I have 32, and I sometimes get the message you're running out of memory, but I think it's got more to do with Camtasia in my case than anything else. When is your next ocean plunge coming? I don't know. Soon, probably. I don't know if I'll film it though. That's a good point. Scott, if considering Mac versus PC, the ability to keep using for 6 to 7 years and still run the latest OS is pretty great. It certainly is. Hi, Rob. I'm a skilled video editor. Any opportunities for referrals? Nope. Sorry, you're in the wrong place for referrals. Because I tell people not to hire out their editing. I tell people to learn how to do it themselves, because it's not to take away what you do, but for what I do and for what people need to do for YouTube, it's not that hard to learn video editing. Video editing can be, there's a lot of cool things you can do with it. I just don't think it's necessary certainly not for me. All depends on what kind of content you're creating. But no, if you're an editor, you're looking for jobs, I would go to Fiverr or Upwork. It'd be a good place to, and that's where I would typically, if somebody tells me they want to hire an editor, that's where I tell them to go, and search for one that fits them. Lisa says, I know you can edit 4K in DaVinci at a lower resolution to improve editing rate than export in higher resolution. Yes, absolutely. And I didn't talk about that today. You can do that in Camtasia as well. It's called creating a proxy video. DaVinci does it. Camtasia does it. I think a lot of the editing software does it. And yeah, it basically converts your 4K, large file size video files into lower resolution files to make it easier to work with. So you do your editing with that, with the low res version, but when you actually go to export or render your video, it doesn't pull from the proxy video that was created, it pulls from the real video. Okay, and that's how, so yeah, that does help the editing software programs for sure. Retired at 50. In Ukraine, I can't edit and I don't edit. Okay, very good. Very good. Yeah, and you don't have to. And that's the beauty of YouTube today, especially with people who aren't necessarily looking for edited videos. They want to see real stuff. That works. Hi from the Highlands. Jim just jumped on. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Good to see you. Pam says, I had a question, but I think it got lost. I'll ask again next week if I remember. Let me just try to find it. I found it, Pam. Hi, Rob. I struggle with getting to the point on my videos. People click, but then leave after a few minutes. Any advice on how to step it up a notch? Practice. Practice making your videos shorter is really all I can suggest. Because, yeah, and I tend to fall into that sometimes. I'll end up, I'll go outside with, okay, I've got this to talk about. I think I can probably do that in 10 minutes. Next thing I know, it's 25 minutes long, and I'm thinking, oh, crap, I could have said that a lot quicker. Some people do tell me, oh, no, but I like it when you're, longer videos. I just like listening to the long videos. It's, I just put it on and do other things while I'm listening. It's great. But not everybody thinks that way. Some people just want you to get to the point and move so they can move on to the next video. So it's just a practice thing, Pam. One exercise you could do is make a video, film a video, look at how long it is, and then actually make a point of doing it again and trying to make it in half the time. Right? One of them you're not going to use, one of them you are going to use, right? And just try that. Just see and just see what you had to do to make it shorter. Not sure if that helps, but yeah, practice, I think, is what you need to rely on there. Good morning, Catherine. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a bit. I hope everything is good with you down in New Zealand. Alrighty. Better late than never, I think. Hi, Rob. Hi, Chad. Hey, aging retiree. Mike, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah. Better late than never, absolutely. But I'm going to stop this. I've got to go. I'm 45 minutes later than I said I would be. But again, better, what's the saying? Not better late than never, but better long than short. I don't know. Anyways, this was fun. Thanks, guys. I'll be back at it again tomorrow or next week. I hope to have a video out tomorrow. If not, it'll be Thursday. Not 100% sure what it's going to be on yet because I'm in the middle of learning Claude code, and I'm going to get back to that after I go to the washroom and get something to eat. So that's what I'm up to. Been sleeping in on these colder mornings. And you? I'm doing great, Catherine. It's starting to warm up. That's right. Yeah, your winter is on the way. It's starting to get warmer here. It's going to be 29, I think, tomorrow, Celsius here. So I might try to get outside and enjoy some of that. So I hope you all have a great day. And I will... Oh, it's a long one here. See, I have such a hard time from breaking away from the chat. I'm just looking at the current chat now. Scott goes and posts a long message here, so I have to read it. This is Pam. One thing that helped me was to film my opening greeting at the very end of my video after I knew what I was going to say, and in my mind I composed an intro that covered it with them. That's actually a good idea. I used to do something similar to that. When I was making my Camtasia how-to edit videos, I would film my intro and ending in one file, like one recording session. I'd do my intro and my ending, and then that's a file, and then I would do my middle part afterwards, and I would edit it all together. So, but I think what I do now is a little easier workflow, but yeah, it's all about experimenting and finding what works best for you. But that's certainly good advice for her to try. It's 3 Celsius for you, Catherine. Ouch, that's chilly. That is chilly. For the Americans in the audience, that's around 35 to 37 degrees Fahrenheit. Nice chilly morning. Nice morning for a run maybe, or a brisk walk. 98 Fahrenheit in Texas. Oh my God, that's just about unbearable. I might melt in that. No problem, Scott. Anytime. I enjoy these, as you know. Nurse Janice is here. Sorry, late. We'll rewatch. No problem. It'll be here for you. Southern California here. Awesome. Off for a walk soon. It's a stunning morning. Awesome. I think I like walking in the winter more than the summer. I'd rather be a little on the chilly side. I'd rather have to wear a sweater than be sweating. You know what I mean? Just more comfortable. 20 Celsius in the Highlands. That's nice. That's nice too. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Let's say goodbye to Peanut. Say goodbye, Peanut. Say goodbye. Till next week. Till next week. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day and have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you next week or in the next couple days in another video. All right, take care. Bye. Oh, one more thing. PC, 51%, Mac, 36%, other 8, both 6. So PC wins, but I think Mac wins. Cheers, guys. Take care.